Before we begin, hit that subscribe button, because what you're about to hear isn't just a story. It's a warning, a reminder that danger doesn't always hide in dark alleys sometimes. It walks right through small-town streets in broad daylight. This is the story of the girl in the red scarf. It was early December 2016, in a quiet town called Pine Hollow, Oregon, population 2,300. The kind of place where everyone knows everyone, and bad things don't happen. At least, that's what they thought. 19-year-old Lila Carter was the kind of girl everyone liked. Smart, funny, and endlessly kind. She worked part-time at the local diner and spent weekends volunteering at an animal shelter. She had dreams of studying veterinary medicine, maybe moving to Portland one day. That winter, Pine Hollow was blanketed in snow. Christmas lights lined Main Street, and the air smelled like pine and wood smoke. Lila had just finished her shift at the diner on the night of December 8th, wrapping a bright red scarf around her neck, a gift from her mother. It was her favorite. At 8:47 p.m., she sent a text to her best friend. "Heading home now. It's freezing snowflake." She never made it home. Hashtag the disappearance. The next morning, Lila's mother, Marlene, found her daughter's bed untouched. Her phone went straight to voicemail. By 10 a.m., panic set in. Pine Hollow hadn't seen a missing person case in nearly 20 years. The sheriff's office organized a small search party. They found Lila's car about a mile from the diner, parked neatly on the shoulder of County Road 9. The driver's door was locked, keys gone, but there were no signs of a struggle. The only strange thing? Her red scarf was missing too. Around noon, a jogger named Tom Willis called the sheriff's office. He'd found something near the bridge at Maple Creek, tangled in a fence post. It was the red scarf. The scarf was caught in the wire, fluttering in the icy wind, faintly stained with mud. But there were no footprints in the snow leading to or away from it. Just tire tracks nearby, blurred, half covered by frost. The scene felt wrong, like something had been staged. Detective Laura Hensley, a 30-year veteran of the county force, took over the case. She'd seen missing persons before, but this one hit differently. Pine Hollow was her hometown. She knew the Carters personally. They started with the diner. Security footage from the night before showed Lila leaving just before 8:45 p.m. The camera caught her walking toward her car, the red scarf glowing under the streetlights. Behind her, barely visible in the corner of the frame, a dark SUV slowed down, then rolled out of view. When detectives enhanced the footage, they caught a partial license plate, 7K2. But in a small town like Pine Hollow, that wasn't enough. 3 days later, a hunter came forward with a chilling statement. He'd been in the forest north of Maple Creek on the morning of December 9th, about 5 miles from where Lila's scarf was found. He reported seeing a dark SUV parked on a logging road, engine running, exhaust visible in the cold air. He didn't think much of it, until he saw a man standing near the tree line, wearing gloves, staring straight at him. The hunter described him as mid-40s, tall, with a beard and a blue jacket. When the man noticed he'd been spotted, he got in the SUV and drove off fast, toward the direction of the creek. The hunter gave police the license number. It was a match, 7K2. The SUV belonged to Dennis Rourke, a 46-year-old mechanic who lived on the outskirts of town. Divorced, quiet, with a reputation for being odd. He'd done some work at the diner before, fixing appliances. Lila's co-workers confirmed she'd spoken to him a few times. Polite, nothing unusual. Detectives went to question him. Rourke was calm, almost too calm. He said he'd been hunting alone that weekend and hadn't seen or spoken to anyone. He allowed them to search his vehicle. At first glance, the SUV was clean, spotless, in fact. Too clean. Forensic teams later discovered trace fibers in the trunk, bright red, consistent with the material of Lila's scarf. That was enough for a warrant. When detectives searched Rourke's property, they discovered something strange. An old storage shed in the woods behind his house. Inside, it looked like a workshop. Tools, car parts, and boxes. But tucked under a tarp, they found something that made the hairs on every investigator's neck stand up: a phone. It was Lila's. Still intact. Still charged. The last photo she'd taken, time-stamped at 8:52 p.m., showed a blurry image of headlights through her windshield, as if she'd stopped her car and snapped a picture of what was in front of her. When confronted, Rourke insisted he'd found the phone near the creek while hunting. His story kept changing, but the evidence didn't lie. Fibers, location data, the timeline, it all pointed to him. Yet something about the case still didn't fit. Rourke's phone records placed him miles away during the exact window Lila vanished. DNA results on a scarf? Inconclusive. The sheriff's office held him for 48 hours, but with no direct proof linking him to a crime. They had to release him. Pine Hollow exploded with fear and anger. For the first time, residents locked their doors at night. The diner lost half its customers. And Lila's parents? They couldn't even step outside without seeing the red scarf on every telephone pole, fluttering like a ghost. By January, the case had gone cold. Then, a local firefighter came forward. He'd been responding to a small brush fire on an abandoned property 5 miles north of town. Among the ashes, he'd noticed something metallic, a locket, engraved with the initials LC. It was confirmed to belong to Lila. The area around the property was searched immediately. Buried beneath a thin layer of frost and leaves, they found tire tracks, matching Rourke's SUV. When detectives brought him in again, Rourke broke. He confessed, but not in the way they expected. He claimed that on the night Lila disappeared, he saw her car stop by the road, hazard lights flashing. He pulled over to help. She seemed scared, he said someone was following her. He offered to call for help, but she refused. When he turned away, she ran into the woods and never came back. It was bizarre, impossible to verify, yet eerily specific. Detectives later learned that just an hour before she vanished, a truck driver had reported seeing a second dark vehicle tailing a small silver sedan matching Lila's car. That vehicle was never identified. So had Rourke been telling the truth, or just another story to save himself? Despite years of searching, Lila Carter's body was never found. The case remains open, officially listed as a probable abduction. Dennis Rourke eventually left Pine Hollow, his name forever tied to the tragedy. Locals still talk about that winter, about how the snow seemed to swallow her footprints, and how that red scarf still haunts every Christmas season. The bridge at Maple Creek now holds a small memorial, candles, flowers, and a plaque that reads, "For Lila, may the wind carry your story home." At night, when the wind rushes through the valley, it catches the red ribbons left by strangers, fluttering in the same spot where the scarf was found. And every December, as the town lights up for the holidays, someone, no one knows who, leaves a single red scarf on the diner's doorstep. If this story gripped you to the end, hit that subscribe button, because the next one dives even deeper into the shadows. A story of another disappearance, another mystery, and another truth buried just beneath the surface. Because in towns like Pine Hollow, secrets never stay buried for long.